New this morning, we'll get the first safety studies on the compound 708. You might know it as Kratom. It is a herbal substance that's sometimes advertised in the windows of some gas stations and smoke shops.
Now, this usually comes in liquid form, tablets, or powders, and 7-OH is taken from the leaves of a kratom tree. Here in Colorado, though, it is legal to use. And Denver 7 has been following this compound for years and the efforts to regulate it to keep our community safe. Lawmakers introduced a bipartisan proposal in February that requires an annual registration for manufacturers with the state.
Joining us live right now, Denver 7's Allie Jenner-John. She's at the state capitol. And Allie, you spoke with supporters and opponents to learn more about this substance and how it's used and why it's become so controversial.
Yeah, and part of what you were starting to get at there, 7-OH comes from kratom leaves, and kratom in general, researchers say, is being used more across the country to treat or manage things like chronic pain. Now, back in May, Governor Jared Polis here at the Capitol signed a bill into law that keeps people from making, selling, or distributing kratom that has a certain level of 7-OH. I spoke with leaders who took part in this study, and National Policy Director for the Holistic Alternative Recovery Trust, also known as HART, Dr. Jeff Smith, lists 3 things that make him comfortable with the use of 7-OH. He says safety studies show 7-OH has no lasting negative impacts, even at high doses. He says there have been more than 500 million doses taken over the last 2 years, and only 5 adverse effects have been reported. And finally, he says people report it helping them manage chronic pain.
There are some people that may have a minor headache or may have minor gastrointestinal discomfort. Compared to what happens with opioids and the, again, millions of deaths in this country over the last couple decades as a result of opioid addiction, we think that those kinds of very mild side effects are, acceptable.
I asked Smith if 7-OH is FDA approved. He says it is not, yet you can buy it from a variety of stores in some communities. Now, he tells me HART wants safety restrictions like age and labeling guardrails, some of the things that law we previously mentioned did proactively with Kratom. Co-founder and National Policy Director of One Chance to Grow Up, Diane Carlson, she supports that law.
When there are no standards, there's no safety testing, you don't know what's in it. And the other thing is you don't know how something else you may be taking, maybe over the counter even, not even a medication, can interact. And yeah, that can be very potentially dangerous.
Now, the law passed here in May. It's called the Daniel Breger Act. He's from Colorado. He died in 2021. His father telling Denver 7 that he mixed a form of kratom and Benadryl. He was able to purchase it. He was not prescribed it. Now, I'm continuing to follow this story and how to protect you and your family. So if you have any questions or something I should look into about this story or another, just scan the QR code on your screen to get in touch with me over email. Live at the Capitol, Allie Jenner-John, Denver 7.